Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Spanish Grand Prix results for F1, F2, F3 and the F1 Academy. But before we get into that, let's first talk about next week's scheduled race, which will be at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix for F1, F2 and F3. So first off with F3 and then we'll work our way back up. Friday, practice and qualifying. Practice start at 8:55 to 9:40, qualifying now start at 2 to 2:30. The sprint race on a Saturday, that's at 9:30 to 10, or I should say to 10:10. And then the feature race on Sunday, that's at 8:30 to 9:15. Then for F2, practice and qualifying on a Friday, practice outside at 10:05 to 10:50, qualifying outside at 2:55 to 3:25. The sprint race on Saturday, that's at 1:30 to 2:15. Then the feature race on Sunday, that's at 10 to 11. And finally, for F1, we only have one practice session. That'll be on a Friday. That's at 12 to 1:30, and it's sprint qualifying outside at 6:30 to 5:14. 4:30, sorry, to 5:14. Then the sprint on a Saturday. That's at 12 to 1, and qualifying outside at 4 to 5. And then the race itself, that's at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. So let's now first have a look now at the F1 Academy results. And first start off with the F1 Academy for race 1. That was won by Abby Pullen, followed by Nuria Marti and Chloe Chambers running at the podium. And then for the rest of the top 10, in fourth place we have Bianca Bustamante, Hamda Al-Khabaizi, Emma Lederhaus, Dorian Ping, Jessica Tina Hausman, and Leah Block ran out the top 10. The main one was actually there was a collision between Amna Al-Khabaizi and Maya Vogue. Both of them just collided, and Maya Vogue had a 5-place good penalty, I believe, for the next race of I'm pretty sure it was race 2 for Catalonia. So that's pretty unlucky that for Maya Vogue, who was looking like a potential championship threat. But these last couple of races has kind of been the opposite, I'll be honest, for Maya Vogue. So yeah, we'll see how she really goes in the next set of races, which I'm pretty sure is like a Zandvoort. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a while since we talk about F1 Academy once again. But there's obviously your top 10. Abby Pullen continues to dominate. Well, for race 2, it was Chloe Chambers. I know, a different winner other than Durang Pin or Abby Pullen, followed by obviously Abby Pullen. Then it was Hamda Al-Khabaizi round out the podium. And then for the top 10, we had Nuria Marti, Dorian Ping, Leah Block, Bianca Bustamante, Tina Hausman, Lola Lovenforce, and Emma Lederhaus ran out the top 10. It was just tire degradation as a whole for this race. I mean, you could easily tell the tire deg. I mean, some of the tires are just looking horrible. So, but I mean, it was still a pretty good race. I mean, Chloe Chambers, she had a monster start, and Abby Pullen, she was kind of just struggling in the latter half of this race, and with basically a 7-second lead almost for Chloe Chambers. It was a very dominant win there for Chloe Chambers, so good stuff for her. Obviously, again, her first win in her rookie stuff in the F1 Academy, so it is looking pretty good there for Chloe Chambers for this rest of the season. But let's now have a look now at the standings, and holy crap, is Abby Pullen absolutely destroying them. A 66 points lead over Dorian Pim, followed by in third place Chloe Chambers, who's actually tied with Dorian Pim, followed by Nuria Marti, Bianca Bustamante, Hamda Al-Khabaizi, Maya Vogue, Jessica Edgar, Tina Hausman, and Amna Al-Khabaizi ran out the top 10. Obviously, the next race for the F1 Academy will be at Zandvoort, so we're going to not see the F1 Academy for a while up until Zandvoort. So let's now have a look now at the F3 results. For the F3 results at Spain, first off with the sprint race, that was won by Maria Boya, followed by Alex Dunn and Oliver Gareth ran at the podium. Then for the top 10, we have Martina Senshorn, Lawrence Van Hopen, Noah Leon, Leonardo Fanaroli, Dina Beganovic, Arvid Lindblad, and Tim Chermanets running at the top 10. It was mainly the Triton cars, actually. I think it was Sammy Megatunif, I believe, and Santiago Romas. Pretty sure both of them collided into turn 1. Megatunif, it was just a very late lunge into turn 1, and basically both of those cars were out, so that was pretty disappointing there. As well, Gabriel Lamini and Sebastian Montoya, both of them also collided as well, and both of them were not too happy with each other. But I mean, Montoya, he was coming up on the field. Pretty sure he started like 30th, I believe, or something, like 29th. Pretty deep in the field, and then worked his way up to, I think he was like 12th, I'm pretty sure, when it happened. So it's pretty impressive there for Montoya. As for Gabriel Mini, he's just been struggling. This entire weekend is just a weekend to forget for Gabriel Mini. So yeah, it's not really. I mean, championship-wise, we'll obviously have a look at it soon, but it is getting pretty close to up at the top. And then for the feature race, that was won by Arvid Lindblad, followed by Christian Mansell and Leonardo Fronaroli right at the podium. And then for the top 10, we have Oliver Goethe, Luke Browning, Nikola Solov, Nikola Solov, Alexander Dunn, Dino Beganovic, Noah Leon, and there is Santiago Ramos right out the top 10. It was actually raining in the start. It started to fall in the last couple of laps. I think maybe 3 laps or maybe 2 laps to go, I'm pretty sure. So it was getting a bit squirmy there, and I think there was also a collision between I think Martinez Senchon and Lawrence Van Hopen, I believe. There was a collision there, and Van Hopen, I think, had a puncture. Then later Senchon had a puncture. It was a bit messy there, but we'll see if there's gonna be any penalties after I upload this video, which is going to be very fun. And finally, as well, for the driver's standings, Leonardo Fronaroli still in the lead, only though by 5 points over Luke Browning, who has closed that championship lead, followed by Gabriel Mini, who lost the championship lead, and then his teammate Arvid Lindblad, Dino Beganovic, Oliver Goethe, Christian Mansell, Tim Tremendez, Maria Boya, and Sammy Megatune around the top 10. The next race for them will be at Austria, which I'm pretty sure is also the next race as well on the F1 calendar, so that'll be a good thing to watch. But let's now have a look now at the F2 results. Moving over now to F2, first off with the sprint race, that was won by Victor Martins, followed by Kush Miney and Paul Aaron right at the podium. And then for the top 10, we have Jack Crawford, Gabriel Bortoleto, Isaac Hajar, Ratomo Miyata, Juan Manuel Carrera, Zach O'Sullivan, and Joshua Dirksen right out of the top 10. There was quite a lot of penalties being dished out. I think definitely maybe the biggest one was Juan Manuel Carrera, who was originally on the podium until he got that 5-second time penalty. I think as well, Ratomo Miyata, I believe, was also got a 5-second time penalty, who was like 2nd place at some point. I think Zane Maloney as well. I think some other drivers as well. I can't remember who else got 5-second time penalties, but yeah, it wasn't that chaotic, I'll be honest. It was just everyone kind of just riding around, and Victor Martins just dominates with 4 seconds up the road, obviously in front of Kush Miney. And then for the feature race, that was won by Jack Crawford, followed by Franco Colapinto and Juan Manuel Carrera right out the podium. It's great to see, I'll be honest, that Carrera is back on the podium. That is great to see. Followed by Paul Aaron, Isaac Hajar, Kush Miney, Gabriel Bortoleto, Zane Maloney, Amory Cordial, and Pepe Marti around out the top 10. Unlike in the sprint race, there was a lot more stuff that was happening. First, Victor Martins, a sprint race winner, and Dennis Hauger gliding at turn 1, lap 1, so both of them were out of the race. Paul Aaron, who was chasing, I believe, Jack Crawford, for basically provisional first place, was off the track at turn 14, and both Invicta teammates collided. I think Miney, he wanted to pass Bortoleto to possibly maybe pass Isaac Hajar. Bortoleto said no. And turn 1, it was just all calamity. It was 2016 Mercedes all over again. So yeah, that's a very awkward talk on Monday. But obviously that's just how racing goes. Should Bortoleto maybe back off? Should Kush Miney not be as aggressive? You can maybe ask all these questions as well. And then now for the driver's standings, Paul Aaron now leads only though by 9 points over Isaac Hajar, followed by Zane Maloney, Jack Crawford, Gabriel Bortoleto, Dennis Hauger, Franco Colapinto, Kush Miney, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Zach O'Sullivan around the top 10. Let's now have a look now at the F1 results. And yes, Max Verstappen wins the Spanish Grand Prix, followed by Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton completing the podium. Then we have George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Sergio Perez, and both Alpines of Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon ran out the top 10. Followed by Nico Hulkenberg, who is the last driver on the lead lap, followed by Fernando Alonso, Zhou Guan Yu, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, and 2 laps down, that being Logan Sargent. There was nothing happened this race. Legit nothing. And Sky, all they would talk about was rain. But one thing was pretty interesting though. Right after the race, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, they had a bit of a confrontation, we'll say, after the race. Something happened on the track, and not really too sure, but I can't remember who's on board, but I'll try and find where that Twitter video is on board, but like, if I can't find, I'm sorry. It was just a confrontation, really. Like, I think Leclerc said about, I think maybe Sainz said about Leclerc about him crying too much or something. Not really too sure, but I can tell that the relationship between Sainz and Leclerc is souring up a bit, considering that Sainz is leaving the team. He wants to prove that he's still worth in F1, and Charles Leclerc is basically Ferrari's like home child. So I can honestly understand that Sainz is a bit frustrated. Leclerc's also a bit frustrated as well, but I mean that's just how racing is, I guess. So yeah, it's just. That was pretty interesting. A bit of confrontation there between both Ferrari drivers. There was also an incident between Hamilton and Russell, but it didn't really gain a lot of attention, I'll be honest. But I mean, both of them I'm pretty sure are pretty cool. But Leclerc and Sainz, I'm gonna be watching that pretty closely from now on, considering that Sainz it will be leaving the team, and I think that will stuff as well that Sainz will be announcing his new team during the weekend, but that has not happened yet. The fast lap went to Norris, fastest pit stop went to Verstappen, driver day went to Lando Norris, followed by Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, and George Russell. And then finally, as well for the penalties, Alex Albon changed his major in Park Ferme, which he was required to start for the pit lane. Kevin Magnussen had a false start with a 5-second time penalty. Nico Hulkenberg and Yuki Tsunoda both called for speed in the pit lane, and both of them were caught with 5-second time penalties. So here are the standings now. After Spain, we have Max Verstappen still in the lead, followed by Lando Norris, who moves up to second place over Charles Leclerc. They have Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Oscar Piastri, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda right out the top 10. Followed by Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Oliver Bierman, Nico Hulkenberg, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon moving up a spot over Alexander Albon, Kevin Magnussen, and the other drivers who have not scored a point, which includes Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, and Logan Sargent. And then for the constructors, we have Red Bull Racing still in the lead, followed by Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, RB. Alpine moves in front of Haas, Williams, and Stake. So just a reminder, the next week's schedule race is at Austria for F3, F2, and F1. So now, guys, to comment and subscribe. It would really help me, especially on this channel. It was a very boring race. I mean, also F1, but that's just F1 now as a whole, I'm pretty sure. But hopefully Austria will be really good. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.